a similar exhibit. It sometimes would get a little larger or smaller depending on the space. It started out in the village of Angoulême in France, where they have a comics festival every year, and I was made the grand poobah of the festival, which scared me because I knew it came with a retrospective exhibit, and I didn't want a retrospect. As Bob Dylan, our great Nobel Prize winner, said, "An artist, don't look back." And then I only agreed if they could find other places for it to go, or it just seemed like too many months of work to sort through to make this happen. So that it then did come to the Pompidou as part of that. So it was in the Beaubourg, in the library part of the Beaubourg. And then it went to, I don't even remember which, it's the museum in Cologne, the Modern Art Museum, a very good one. And bit by bit it was getting more refined as it went along from venue to venue. And then it came to Vancouver right after that, where I'd been involved with that director a few times on other projects, so this seemed like a natural. And then it went to the Jewish Museum in New York, and that was maybe the most beautiful in terms of the space and the kind of work being matched the best. If we have time for a funny anecdote of sorts, which is, I didn't want the work to look framed because I felt that's too grandiose. Comic art should just be what it is, and even when it's not funny, but just the drawing should have an intimacy. And then the mats that we'd put them in frames that looked just like mats had been wearing out, and they said, "Can we replace the mats with a different color?" I said, "Well, what do you have in mind?" And they said, "Well, you know, like red, yellow, blue, like comic books." "Oh, absolutely not. That's way off from where I would go." And eventually she said, "Well, how about black?" And I said, "Yeah, black is fine." Then wall color. The new director of the museum said, "How about pistachio?" I said, "What? Pistachio?" And then eventually this woman confesses to me, the person who was helping me put the show together. She's walking down the hall, somebody comes over and says, "How's that Spiegelman show going? Did you figure out what it'll look like, the mise-en-scène for it?" And she said, "Yes, 50 Shades of Grey." And it looked so luminous and beautiful because the white of the paper or the color of the drawing really stood out with light gray frames or dark gray frames against black or gray walls. So I was stunned by the way that one looked.